Hello and welcome. This is Charles Folkart, April 5th, 2019. I welcome all of you and I thank those of you who support this channel. I also appreciate the comments, the likes, and the sharing, etc. Don't forget, I'm over at BitChute. Should you not be able to find me here. And also at K-Rux Replies. You never know what's going to happen. And I also have charlesfolkart.com, and I'm going to have to work from that quote platform perhaps in the future. So just a heads up. I got up early this morning, pretty early even for me, and I started working on a project I've got on unclean foods and the foods that are clean. And I thought, I was going to present that, and I was thinking about how to do that. And I got the idea that that's not what I should do at this time, because it's not the most important thing. So you're probably asking, well, what do you think is the most important thing? And that's what I want to get to in this video, how we need to stay on topic all the time. And there's so many sites that you can go to, and I go to, and if you've ever done any shooting, if you ever had to sight in your weapon, a lot of times you'll see something like this. And there's a lot of these other websites that seem to be able to get on the plate, but they can't get in the center. So I want to stay in the center as much as possible. And when someone who claims to be quote truth teller, or he has this operation and that operation, and they want you to understand the world around you from their perspective, and then when they reveal how they think about certain aspects of history and other events going on, and they miss the mark. They're outside of the bullseye, and it's getting more and more that when I go to watch and hear what those people have to say, if they're not tuned in, if their weapon isn't, if they can't shoot a tight group in the center, I don't have time. I don't have time for them. Yes, they have a little bits of here and there, but that's not good enough anymore, folks. That's not good enough. The most important thing I believe that we as white males need to know, we need to understand right now, is who our enemy is. First of all, who we are. Who we are. What tribe are we a member of? Our identity. Where we're from, what we're about, and we need to, I believe we need to realize the situation that we're in. Number two, we need to realize who our enemy is, and we need to stop being afraid to name the enemy. No more euphemisms. So let's get back to who we are here. If you're an American or European, if you're a Caucasian and you reside in Europe, United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, other places, Iceland, for example, you're probably, if you're not mixed race, you're probably one of the 12, you're probably of the tribe or a mixture of the tribes of Jacob, of his 12 sons, the Israelites. So Unless you understand that, then how in the world are you ever going to get a tight group in your thinking? You don't even know who you are. So Isaac had Jacob, and Isaac is where we get the name Saxon. For example, Anglo-Saxon. And then, of course, Abraham was Isaac's father, or Jacob's grandfather. You've heard it many times, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I looked in the scripture this morning. Abraham is mentioned in the Bible 250 times, and in the New Testament, it's mentioned 74 times. So I get the impression from those facts, that Abraham is a pretty important individual in the Bible. And, I happen to name my oldest son Abram. So Abraham Lincoln, we have that name in our culture. We have these other names, Isaac's son, etc. And so it's in our culture, folks. It's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Have you noticed we don't hear much about the other son of Isaac, Jacob's twin brother? So we have Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. Esau was one of the sons of Isaac, and yet we hardly ever hear about him, do we? There are some people come on this channel here and they leave comments that indicate to me that they think Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were Jews. And go watch some of the other videos that are on this channel, and you'll know that or you'll learn, or you get the evidence anyway. You don't have to believe it. See, nobody can force you to believe the truth. But Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were not Jews. You've been led to believe they're Jews. Nowhere in the Bible will you find any indication, any evidence that Abraham and Isaac were Jews. Hebrews, yes, but not Jews. So, one of the 12 tribes of Jacob was Judah. And it's interesting, the more I learn about history and the more I learn about how things transpired, the more I realize that this tribe here has got everyone to believe that they're of this tribe. In other words, this tribe has the general public, especially the Judeo-Christians, believing that they descend from Judah. And that's why they picked up the name Jew, from Judah. So this tribe has everyone thinking that they're of the tribe of Judah, or their nickname Jews. And that is not the case. The Bible never says that the tribe of Esau are from the tribe of Judah, and therefore Jews. And yet that thinking permeates the minds of so many people in the world. That has got to be one of the greatest deceptions in existence. In all of history, folks, that's probably it. That's probably number one right there. Some of these other popular, well-known, with a lot of subscribers, with a large audience and all this stuff, most of the time, almost without exception, most of the time, these people don't have a proper understanding of this right here, and this information right here. And so when they present their point of view, they're they're outside of the tight group. They're outside of the bullseye. You know, I like to play darts, and it's that little red dot in the middle which is the most important space on the entire board. I think you get 50 points in the center. Maybe it's 100. It's been a while since I played. But there are so many out there that miss the mark, folks. And if they don't have a proper understanding of their background, their identity, then they're going to be off. And there's no excuse now. See, I feel I have a responsibility to be as accurate as possible. That's why I don't jump into what's going on. You know, jump into QAnon and the deep state and this prophet over here who's he's got a large audience and a lot of people, and he's a Judeo-Christian. No. There's so much untruth out there. There's so much lies out there that sometimes it takes a while to vet out the false information and kind of sift through the information you get, the content. And I don't have to be the first one with the news. You know, I don't have to. A lot of these channels, first one, heard it here first. You know, and what happened 500 years ago and a couple thousand years ago, they don't have a clue. So as I said earlier, this tribe here has all of this tribe thinking that they come from that tribe, and that's not true. So what we have, folks, and I'm beginning to realize how it's all worked out. This is from Schofield Bible, so you Judeo-Christians, you'll know it's correct. See, this is where the Edomites are from. And I think on another, let me get it so you understand why the Idumeans are the Edomites and Esau is the Edomites. So this is map number 3 in the back of my Schofield, and you can see here Edom, and then up here, hard to see on this map, but this is Judah, and right there is Jerusalem. And what happened is during the Assyrian captivity and the Babylonian captivity, especially the Babylonians came down to Judah, to Jerusalem, and took most of the Israelites of the tribe of Judah and Benjamin and Levites, and they took them up to this area way up in here and into Babylon, and they put them out toward I understand they put them, a lot of the Israelites, out toward the outer area, the outer reaches of their empire, so that when they got attacked, the first ones that would get killed would be the Israelites or the other peoples. And so during these times, especially during the time of the Maccabees, a lot of the Edomites moved up into Judah because there weren't very many Israelites there. And so that's when we had the Idumeans, the Edomites, moving into Judah and mingling. So during this time we have a mingling of the remainder of the Israelites that stayed behind because the Babylonians couldn't get everyone. But then also Ezra and Nehemiah came back, and they came back with the Israelites to rebuild the temple. But there was already a lot of Edomites, Esau-Edomites there, Idumeans that had moved into the area. You see how there's a mixture, much bigger mixture of Esau-Edomites with the Israelites, including the tribe of Judah. So now we have this confusion. Most people in our culture, most of the Caucasians, most of those of the tribe of Jacob, the 12 sons of Jacob, they're in Europe. Reuben in France. We got the Finns, the Swedes, the Brits, the Irish, the Welsh, Iceland of the tribe of Benjamin, etc. we got most of these people confused as to who this tribe is. This tribe are imposters. They've kind of moved into the house, so to speak, and they've taken over. And so the new people coming in think because they're in the home or they're in the house or they're in the area like Israel today, that somehow those people have a claim to that land. Well, the people that are claiming the land from the Palestinians belong to the south, Idumea, down by Mount Seir. And so with so many people confused on that fact, or they don't understand it, or they refuse to accept it, we have books like, we have authors like Stephen Collins, who wrote this series on the Israelites, who still believes that the current occupants of that land there that are occupying Palestine against the wishes of the Palestinians, they believe, Steve Collins believed, that this tribe, Esau, is actually a part of this tribe, which is false. So when you read this, if you don't understand that fact, you're going to be confused. And it's the same thing with this book, this author. See, a lot of times these people have to do that or they won't get published or they won't get on the Judeo-Christian TV program. Pat Robinson doesn't want to hear about it because if he didn't indicate in the book here that the Jews are Judah, and he kind of whitewashes it, he kind of goes around it and doesn't want to offend, but he'll get banned, folks. You get banned if he told the truth. And we got the same problem here. This fella Walsh, he believes that he misunderstands that the current group of people that we know of as Jews, he believes they come from the tribe of Judah. I would suggest that you give us the evidence. If you believe the current illegal occupiers of Palestine have a right, have a title to that land, why don't you provide the evidence here in the comment section? We can have a little back and forth over it. But you see, nobody ever does that. No one ever leaves the evidence in the comments that would indicate, that would lead someone to come to the conclusion that these Esau-Edomites, this is who they really are. They're Esau-Edomites who have the world believing that they're of the tribe of Judah, and in some cases all the Jews. But that's so easily rebuked that they don't even bring that up anymore. But they want people to believe, and for the most part, they've succeeded in convincing the world at large that they are of, or they descend from, the tribe of Judah, and and by extension, they are the Israelites of the Old Testament. Last couple of days, I've been looking at some of these well-known channels that get a lot of views. One fella I saw, I got 800,000 views, and I read I always read the comments. I don't watch the video because this particular individual is. I'll get to that in a minute, but I went down and read the comments, and it's like, oh, you and your guests, they're my favorite people, and you're so right on, you're so spot on, you're just, oh wow, I just can't, and on, oh, you guys are the greatest, oh, thank God that you're there giving out the truth, and blah, 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 blah. Thank God that you're out there giving the truth. And I want to leave a comment, but it'll make me look bad, and people won't get it because I can't teach them how to shoot and actually hit the target, folks. A lot of these other individuals in the quote truth movement, they're over there, or they shoot, and they're over there, and because because of knowing who I am and my identity and a little bit of history and an understanding of the Word of God, I I can say, hey, you know what? You're not on target, buddy. Your group is off the center. And quite frankly, folks, where I want to get, and I think that you would, if you were on the range, wouldn't you want to get in here? This is where you want to get. The bullseye, right? And that's why I have such a hard time with these other individuals, because when it comes right down to it, we're going to have to be right on the target. Or what's the point? What's the point of practicing if you missed, you're off the target altogether? Come on, folks. I mean, and especially you leaders out there with these large audiences, you have a responsibility to be able to hit that target every time you do a video, or at least have the ability, the skill, the knowledge base, the proper understanding, the background, to be able to present the truth in a cohesive, all-encompassing, correct perspective. Draw an accurate picture. You don't even know who the enemy is, and you're afraid to mention their name. And it's too late for that, folks. It's too late for you to beat around the bush. And you know what else? The Esau-Edomites. See, I can say the Esau-Edomites, and they can't get me for hate speech, because if they say you can't hate. And by the way, let me finish that thought, because they don't claim to be the Esau-Edomites. So why would they ban me and censor me because I expose the Esau-Edomites? You see how that works, folks? You Judeo-Christians, be careful here. I'm going to read out of the Old Testament, so it doesn't apply anymore, except for the prophecy, of course, and that's why you're going to build this. You're supporting this building in the new temple in Jerusalem. But anyway, back to I was going to mention this earlier. Malachi chapter 1, verse 2. Was not Esau Jacob's brother? This is Yahweh speaking, saith the Lord. Yet I loved Jacob. I loved Jacob, but word for word, and I hated Esau. Now, you Judeo-Christians, maybe you might want to find out who these Esau-Edomites are, because your God, the God that you don't even know his name, you don't even know his name is Yahweh, and they've taken the name of God out of almost all the scriptures, and that's why I really enjoy the scriptures. See, this is a non-Esau-Edomite publishing house. It's where we have to go to get an accurate translation of the Bible. Anyway, back to who we are, and I'm going to end it with this. We, the 12 tribes of Israel, is the Caucasian race for the most part, folks. And we are from Jacob. We Caucasians, we Europeans, we Americans, we white Americans, Australians, etc., Iceland, like I mentioned before, we are the 12 tribes of Israel, and God, Yahweh, made a covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And through this lineage, through the tribe of Judah, Yahweh came in the flesh as Yeshua, as a kinsman, redeemer. Boy, I like to talk to you Judeo-Christians, but you're so afraid to debate because you don't know squat about the Bible. Kinsman. Forget this spiritualizing everything. We're all spiritual, we're in such a mess because you Judeo-Christians, all you followers of Hagee and Pat Robinson, you don't know your Bible from the Quran or the Talmud. Anyway, I'm going to end her there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel. And may the grace of God, our Father, Yahweh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our God, may his grace be upon us all, for we most certainly need it. See ya.